Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Eli Rooks, and you're watching 416 Interview.
What made you start creating music?
Bro, honestly, it's like, it's this feeling like I can't even explain. Like, it's this itch, this urge to, like, to create, But honestly, that feeling has come as early as, like, as long as I can remember. Like, I started recording when I was 16, and I would say I was making tracks in my head long before that. So I would say at a young, early age.
When did you start creating music? Like, what was your first instance of just making music?
Actually, I did a workshop with Rich Kid Beats. He was running the workshop at the time, and we had like an intro to studio recording. And so we had like a little like a run through, and then we ended up making our own tracks that day. But like that was like literally my first taste in the studio. And then shortly after that, I started going on my own, on my own dime, and started going hard at like 16, I would say, by myself.
What's behind the name? Is Eli Rooks just your government name?
Nah. So, Eli Rooks, it comes from. I went through a couple of name changes, but this one comes from. So the first part, Eli, my middle name being Elijah, so it derives from that. Eli from that, and then Rooks. It's kind of a funny story. There's a show at the time on BET. Some people are familiar with it, called The Game, and there was this character on there, Derwin Davis, also known as Ding Dong Davis, also known as Rookie. So he was having his rookie season in football, and around that time I was doing my own football thing. I was playing on summer league with Rob Ford's team and some of the guys from Don Bosco, Michael Power. So that year was my rookie year. So literally, my family and my friends started calling me Rookie. Yo, Rooks. Yo, what you saying, Rooks? Yo, Rookie. What you saying? So ultimately, it kind of stuck, and I was like, I kind of like it. I didn't like it at first, but kind of fused the two together, and Eli Rooks is born.
Well, also, I want to ask you, what's with the three Eli Rooks?
Well, at one point, I was Eli Rooks on Instagram, and then I was like, kind of want to, change it up. I don't want it to be Eli Rooks everywhere, even though it's better to have your stuff consistent. But I feel like it kind of formed into this thing where it's like I feel Three Eli Rooks is kind of a alter ego in a sense to Eli Rooks, and that's more of my extroverted side, Three Eli, and then my introverted side is the Eli Rooks. So it's a little play it's a little play on my name that I haven't really like fully fleshed out yet. But be on the lookout for Three Eli and Eli. See if you can spot them throughout the music and throughout the videos, and you'll see Three Eli pop up every now and again.
Yo, run me through your creative process on how you create a song, bro. Like, is it a different process every time? How's it look?
Generally, I try to keep it generally in the same like guideline, and then if anything else derives from that, then we go take it from there. But generally, I try to go there like I've listened to the beat already. I've already kind of formed an idea. If it's not the hook alone, it's the hook and the verse. If it's not the hook and the verse, it's just the verse. But I try to go to the studio with an idea that I could build on, because usually when you're in the studio and you try to, I've done this before too. I've tried to do it on the fly. I don't really have an idea, and like I find the creative process is there. Like you could get creative, but the opportunities or the possibilities open up or maximize even more if you go there with an idea. It's not kind of, I kind of in the past was married to the idea. When I went to the studio, I was like, I want to do this, but I've learned to kind of, if the process brings you away from it, go with the process, go with the flow. But it's ultimately better to, for me anyways, to go there with some sort of an idea. So I'm not there just sitting there and just like wasting time, because ultimately what I learned with going to the studio on my own accord is time is money. So you're paying for it at the end of the day. So it's ultimately down to you if you want to pay for wasted time or you want to make production out of it.
Okay. So, judging by the way you just phrased that, I'm assuming you're a freestyler.
No, not not opposite. The opposite.
Oh, really? Okay, okay.
The opposite. So I kind of like to go there with an idea, and if like I could write on the fly, I could freestyle on the fly, but I would like to write on the fly as opposed to going in the booth and just like bar for bar. Yeah, I could get bars like that, but I feel like I'm more of a like a thought driven person. So if I could get my words out, my words, there's a whole bunch of thoughts going on in my mind at a time. So if I could get it out on paper or on my phone or somewhere tangible for me to see, it kind of gives it a little more direction.
Okay, bet. And then, bro, how picky are you when it comes to beats? Do you have to go through like a ton of beats to find the right one, or?
It's kind of 50-50. Like some days, like I'll instantly know what I'm looking for. Like I won't know what the sound is, but as soon as I hear it, I'll know. And then sometimes I go and I'm listening to a beat pack or I'm listening to a couple beat packs and I'm just like kind of like browsing through and kind of like in my head a little bit, not really like paying attention to the beat. But that's when I don't really have that. I don't know how to explain it, but like there's this thing like once you hear a beat, you instantly know. Like the words start flowing in your head. You're like, nah, get me to a booth. So it's kind of 50-50. Like if I hear that beat, like I'll know instantly within the first 5-10 seconds.
And then, bro, I was looking through your Spotify bio, and do you want to just elaborate on your sound, which you dubbed as, if I'm saying correctly, Sonimatic Sound? Is that how you say it?
Close. Sonomatic.
Sonimatic. All right, yo, like, bro, what does that mean?
Well, to me that word, it means like creativity. It means endless possibilities. It means movie, like these type of feelings that go into a masterpiece. That's what Sonomatic is to me. But the word, basically, I break it down to two words. It's a compound word. The first word is sonic, so you're sonically hearing the sound. You come through with sonics to your ear. That's how we get sound delivered to our eardrums. Sonic. And then matic is the cinematic aspect of movies, and it's what is a part of me. I love movies growing up, and movies always spoke to me. I've always taken from movies. I've always learned from movies. So, and the music in movies often drives the feeling behind whatever the director is trying to convey. So the score, I find, is like just as important as the actors in the scene. They're also a third actor. The score, which is the sound or the soundtrack for a scene. That also plays a big part. So if if I could combine the two, sonic and cinematic, that's a sonomatic sound that will bring you through a whole movie in your head just by hearing the sound. Before you even see a visual, before you see anything, it takes you on a whole experience. So that's kind of where the sonomatic comes from.
All right, bro, moving on. I want to talk about a collaboration you have. You worked with Zaytoven, a Grammy Award winning producer. How'd you connect with him?
Bro, when I like to think that somebody that is in the game, the same lane that you want to be in, and to think that you'd be working with them, it seems quite like far fetched. But like the fact that I was able to work with one of my long time, like, I don't know, I wouldn't call him an idol, but influences in the music business. Like his sound is so influential, and the fact that I was able to work with him, it lets me know that I'm on the right path. But the way I was able to work with him is, I was just doing my thing, whatever. I keep my ears to Instagram, social media, keep an eye out to see if there's any opportunities going on. And there was a time where he hit me up, and he would just like he randomly DM'd me, and I guess I wasn't really ready at the time. I was like, yeah, I want to work, but I wasn't really fully ready to like invest into it. So time went past or whatever, and then I seen randomly one time on his page, he was doing like a outreach to artists and like producers and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, like, I'm looking for anybody that's trying to like get to the next step, trying to invest into their music." So I reached out to him, and ultimately he remembered me, and we just clicked back up. We did a couple of details, we back and forth, and I got him for a feature. I got him on the intro of the track, and it was pretty big for me. As an independent artist, that feels like monumental. It's like it's nothing really, but in the grand scheme of things, this is a building block. So it was really dope to have him on the intro. We're gonna have some more stuff on the way. We have some stuff in the vault. Just stay tuned for that. But Quarantino was definitely an experience. I was glad to have him, honored to have him on the.
What was it like collaborating with him? Like were you like in the same studio or anything like that, or was it just like all online type thing?
Nah, yeah, it was all remote. It was it's usually how the business works when you're working with people overseas, unless we're in the same area at the same time. But yeah, it was pretty easy working with him. He hit me back with in a timely manner. Once you're about your business, you find the people that are like minded in that sense. So, though everything will be according if you guys are both on the same accord ultimately. So he was about it, I was about it, and we just hit each other up. And then I sent him the track that I was doing, and then he sent me the intro that he put on the track, and the rest was history basically. And then we have a couple more stuff worked out in the back. Yeah, we got a couple of stuff on the burners.
All right, so then, just want to like kind of get the timeline together from the time you guys like connected or whatever to the time you dropped that song. How much time had gone by?
I would say probably from me hitting him up for his reach out for me releasing the track because I had the track done before. I was just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with the track. So I would say to get his intro back and to release the song, maybe 4, 5, 6 months tops.
And is that generally like I'm not a person who like creates music. I don't create it. Is that like a timely manner? Is that like fast, slow, like med, average?
I would say that's timely considering my schedule and his schedule. I mean, he's a Grammy award winning producer, and he has shit going on, of course. And I'm regular Joe Schmo, but I got my own shit going on too. So it was about finding the right schedules and timing. I mean, some of these collabs and stuff they take like years, a year and a half, 2 years. So I would say 6 months is pretty timely. And that's 6 months is like giving it the most. So maybe 4 months, 4 to 6 months, I would say, and that's pretty timely.
All right. Speaking about time, Bowen, creating things. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
It's a good question. Um, 5 years, man. Sometimes you don't even look. It's hard to look past the year that's in front of you. You get so caught up. But where I see myself in 5 years, if I keep at the pace that I'm going now, and I haven't done shit, but I feel like I could honestly, I wouldn't say make a living off of my music, but I could definitely have a name off of my music. I could be more established. I'll be more recognized. I'll be doing more shows, be producing more content. I just feel like I'll be doing what I'm doing now, but just more full swing, you know. And maybe at that 5 years, at that end of that 5 years, I could transition from my career into the music business a little more, because ideally that would be nice. But I think 5 years is a reasonable enough time to get this thing going a little more full swing.
All right, and then I like to ask this question to all artists because they all answer it differently. How do you define success as an artist?
How I would define success as an artist, I would say finding finding the thing that makes you happy in releasing the music, whether that's your content in releasing the music, whether that's the creative process, whether that's um, doing shows, or the after effect of after you create the product, doing creating the product and getting to the end destination. If that makes you happy, if that makes you if that makes you fulfilled while you are adding, contributing to other people's lives. So, because it's a two street thing, you could have fun creating the music and all of that, and you could feel good. But who you creating it for at the end of the day, if it's not for the other people, the listeners? So to be a complete artist, you gotta do something that's for you, but you gotta also touch somebody on the other end, even if it's one person. I just want to feel like I've made a difference the way that another artist has made a difference for me, because music affects everybody in different ways. So whatever way that I could affect somebody, I just want to know that I helped somebody, or I touched somebody, or I allowed somebody to get a thought that they didn't have before. Ultimately contributing to other people's lives, I would say, is the answer.
And then lastly, bro, any new projects people sorry, any new projects people should look out for coming up?
We got a big project coming out just now. I would say, I think September 2nd we're doing the audio, and the week following we're doing the video. But I'm doing a project for this song that I have coming out, Victor Newman. It's a pretty good song, pretty big song. Like, it's one of my best songs, I would say. And like, I'm doing like a whole release production for this, so like this one I feel really good about, and I think everybody should be looking out for it, because it's definitely something that we put time and effort into. So Victor Newman, be on the lookout for that. It's coming out in the weeks to follow, next week and the week after that. Be on the lookout for the video and the audio, Victor Newman. And yeah, we got a couple more stuff in the works, but that's like the first thing on tap right there. We got a couple shows on the way too, so I mean, just keep tapped in on my page, through Eli Rooks, any of those pages, and just stay locked in, man.
Smoke them clear, the room is getting hazy now. This hella smoke from all the tours that I be taking now. You was a joke from the start, stop playing your part.